recap of the last 15, 16 months?
What we've been doing. I should have sat down. I wanted, after Brian and them had 1,200 episodes, I was like, I want to see how many we've got now, and I still haven't done that yet. But
Well, the neatest compliment that I think we could have gotten is that they have replayed a couple of our shows when some of the other hosts had conflicts
yeah,
for whatever reason. So I thought that was, I think Coach Rakes, Mr. Rakes, to so many people, I think replayed that several weeks ago, and I think Mike Woods, former city manager for the town of Smyrna,
had several hats, didn't he?
He wore several hats. So, hope you had a good weekend.
I did. Well, I played you. I had grandbaby duty this weekend with wife and I, and the kids went off and had a good weekend together and recharging their batteries. They're due back today, so
good.
We'll hand the torch back over. But it's been fun.
It's fun, but it takes some effort to keep a young one engaged and entertained for hours at a time.
Yeah, we're blessed with ours because she is so set in her ways, and once you figure out what her set ways are, you're good. But if you don't know what those are, it can be a little difficult, especially with getting her ready in the morning and getting her to her daycare this morning. I had a little bit of hiccups, but she did good. Yeah. She went in smiling and happy.
I've got a almost 6-year-old and just 4-year-old, just turned 4 back in the end of June, so I understand. Had a real extraordinary weekend. Teresa and I drove up to the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum, and it just the scale of that of the Ark is just, it's built on biblical dimensions, cubics. I'm not much on cubics. I don't know how that equates into feet and inches, but the thing is massive, and it was just
I know we're going to talk about other people. I'd love for you to go in because I haven't been yet. My neighbors across have gone, and a couple of neighbors up from it, they've gone and just have come back just glaring about how awesome it is and cool and
well, the
technology that they had back then they've recreated is just amazing.
That could have been done in ancient times is just beyond my ability to conceive. But if I know that there is a Lord. I know that He did create everything. I know that Jesus Christ is my Savior, and just to get to go to both of those facilities is just reinforcing.
So how many levels was it?
3 levels from what I recall, and then of course there was something on the deck but you couldn't go to the deck area. But again, it's just massive. And apparently the cubic of the ancient era and the royal cubic may have been a little different, that the royal cubic may have been a little smaller. Mm-hmm. So this ark may have actually been larger than it actually is, or the way it's represented. I'm just going, wow. I just, if you have a chance to go, people of faith, if you're not sure, go. I mean, the explanation and, they give both sides of the coin, and I think that's pretty cool.
How long did it take y'all to get up there?
It's about 4.5 hours. It's just a little north of Lexington, and almost kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Kind of in between Cincinnati, I think, and
Lexington. Yeah, I think especially the Creation Museum is probably about 40 miles from Cincinnati. So, but it's pretty interesting, and we'll go back again But first day of August, it's football
sure
time
is.
in Rutherford County in Tennessee. Just kind of makes your blood start to warm up because of all the years of football. So just very very hopeful for our Blue Raiders. Very hopeful for the Vols and that Rutherford County continues for the state championship to continue to evolve through Rutherford County.
It sounds like I was listening the other day on the radio that here in-house that they were talking about. It looks like we're going to have some pretty good area football teams again this year, which we always do every year. But it seems like we're going to have a few more that are going to be some contenders to watch out for.
Well,
So
that'd be cool. I'd like to see a bunch of games this year, and I'd like to see, like I said, the state championship come through here, and also kind of neat to have these guys as Mr. Football too.
it's exactly. Yeah, my neighbor's son is in band at Smyrna High, and of course, they're doing their spring practice just like it seems like the football team is getting ready, and those kids are doing 12-hour days, and that's amazing. You figure the marching and the time it takes in, then you add an instrument to it, that there's a whole lot to just what they do. But he's been tired when he gets home.
I bet.
He's not ready
bet.
to do anything else.
And one more shout out to the Blue Raiders.
Yeah,
Their band. We're in of course they've started the demolition. So Bill Blue is coming about, and but we were in a box with Tim Tackett and his group, and the band was to the left, and they are so much fun to hear because they really seem to enjoy what they do
Oh, yeah.
and doing it together. And I don't know of another band that just exhibits so much enthusiasm and having fun on
yeah, I agree.
with the activity. So that's pretty cool.
So I guess we'll do a recap. Everybody's been listening. I guess we started on April the 26th of, I guess, last year.
Yes, sir.
And so we're a little over, I guess, almost a year and 2 months into this deal.
Yes,
and,
sir. And I'm just so grateful for you and I to have an opportunity to do this. Of course, with you and your detective role for the town of Smyrna, of course, you were on television and interviewed quite a bit. I had some exposure with the school board and the commission, but as far as a radio show every week, I never dreamed to have the opportunity to do this with you, bro.
Same here. There's no way I ever thought. I know I always had a face for radio, so we had that part covered. But to do this weekly like we've been, it's been. I don't think I would. I know I wouldn't have done it without you, and you were kind of the same. We were a team approach. We pulled out our pocket knives and cut our palms and shook hands on it. And we said we can't leave one without the other. It's been fun. It's been
it has, ride. And we've had some, as we're about to discuss here for the next, I guess, 30 or 40 minutes, that we've had some really interesting people, to come on this show, and I've just been very proud and actually honored that a number of our guests took time out of their busy schedules to be with us.
I agree. Yep, I agree 100%. It's opened my eyes, I know, to a lot of what we have in Rutherford County. That here I thought, 25 years being in the police and then in the insurance, and I was on the commission and several boards and things. I thought I was in tune with about a lot of what was going on in Rutherford County, but just doing this show alone has opened my eyes to a whole lot more things that are going on out there that I wasn't aware of. Sure. And it's been a great opportunity to bring those to light, and the history aspect that we've been able to bring people in and tell stories about that are going to be etched in stone now, podcast wise, so
Right.
people can go back and listen to, as you said, replaying some of the shows. So it's really cool.
You know, I guess my only regret is that we did not have an opportunity to do this for years previous. That, you know, we've had so many people that you and I both have known that I would love to have had here and pick their brain. You
Yeah.
know, some of the events that they.
What kind of stories could Sam and Knox Ridley say?
Oh wow, really?
You know.
Yeah, yeah. Good friend, Rotarian, Councilman H.G. Cole, his dad, Grady Cole,
Yeah.
charter member of the Smyrna Rotary Club. You know, all that
Yeah.
that he could tell as a pharmacist for the town of Smyrna from you know from prior to the growth through the growth.
Well, the
Yeah.
Ridleys were so etched in Smyrna. It's funny, you can't get people still to tell stories on them. You know, it's like they're still scared. You know, they're not going to say much.
Yeah,
So.
I tell you, Mayor Sam Ridley gave the graduation address my senior year,
Oh wow,
and
really?
I thought, you know, I really thought that was cool because you know, he'd been mayor for quite a long time. Even at that time, I don't remember how long, but very interesting. From what I recall, he shared some of his experience growing up in the town and having served in World War II.
He's a 101st Airborne parachute guy.
Yeah, I mean, just
All 5'3" of him.
he and Knox were just were heroes,
They sure
local
were.
heroes, and we've certainly had several of those over the years.
Who do you want to talk about?
Well,
Who
you
else
know,
we got on this
our
list?
our initial first guest back in April of last year was Mayor Mary Esther Reed and town manager Brian Hercules, and I thought that was quite the compliment that they would come on with us, and they were very informative, and I think we've had them at least twice,
Since then.
and they've you know what I find just really fascinating is you know, I don't do much on Facebook except maybe wish people happy birthdays and see what activities that they're doing, or you know, if somebody's getting married or but the mayor and Mr. Hercules are always sending out I guess what would you call them public information notices that, hey, this road's going to be closed,
Yeah.
or this is happening, and just extremely informative.
Well, speaking of which, I know Rock Springs Road, anybody on the north end of the county has been really complaining about Rock Springs Road, and I think Brian Hercules, town manager, said last week in Rotary that would be finished before school started. So I think the first day of school, half day is next Monday, so this is their countdown of trying to get that done this week. I got called in it going to Brentwood last week, so I can only imagine if I lived out that way going through. And Blair Road's a pretty nice. Your road over there, Blair Road, is pretty narrow.
Used to be a lane, an old dirt road in the time.
Well, it is narrow. So, which and having, you know, Mayor Cole on last week with the city of Laverne, and they're going to widen that road and even extend it over to the Carruthers. So
Yep.
that'd be interesting to see how this whole area on that west side of Smyrna blows up like it is.
You know, if the powers that be, if they're able to work out the way it seems to be occurring, to extend Rocky Fork all the way over to Brentwood.
Yep.
You know, driving down 65, you know, Bowling Green has 5 exits, and you know, we got 2.
Yeah.
And another interchange there at Rocky Fork would really help the traffic flow.
And you know, I don't know. I know I-24. It doesn't seem like it, but you know, it was what, 1975 or somewhere thereabouts is when they opened it.
Yeah, finally
So,
open. Yeah, all the way.
all the way. So you figured it quit at Manchester, and you had to go back over and get back on 4170 and drive
Right.
in the old way of Manchester Highway into Murfreesboro and through, then get back on in Laverne where I-24 was. So I know it's still a newer interstate, but we have grown so much. It seems like pretty much, I think, from the Georgia line all the way through, why we don't have a 6-lane, 3 lanes on both sides all the way through and more exits. It's just beyond me.
Well, I did not realize, because I hadn't been up 65 in a while, but, of course, from the Kentucky state line all the way to Louisville, it's 3 lanes on both sides. Well, it looks like Tennessee is bringing the 3 lanes south.
I hope they are. Yeah.
So if I got the odometer correct, so there was about 10 to 12 miles from the state line that's already under construction, the retaining wall, and so it's coming along. So that those 3 lanes will connect with Nashville here, I would suspect, probably in the next year or so.
That'd be awesome. Be
So
great.
Maybe take it a little bit. Of course, we had Mr. Rakes as our second show, and and that just fit, I thought, completely in what we wanted to do with the show, as you said earlier, to document some of the stories and events by these people that have impacted our community all these years, and to have Mr. Rakes on mic and on the podcast, was just very gratifying.
Well, it makes, he's doing a lot better now, but when he had, went through some health problems, and I know he's on his way back to better health now. I guess he's still at Adam's place right now, but, people going up, and I think you've been to visit him and everything else. It was just great to know that we were able to get him up here and get that down, because I think he's ready to come back.
I hope
to
so.
get him out of there.
Yeah, I
So
hope so.
it'd be nice to get him back and let him tell some more stories, because
We need to be careful. He might start calling out some of us knuckleheads.
he knows dirt on both of us, doesn't he? I guess we could have to be careful with that.
we gotta watch out what we're asking. So, of course, we had Mike Woods, and they've replayed that show, and the train ride to Christiana. What, 6th grade was that?
Yeah.
I laugh about it all the time with the cold soot.
Well,
and
they
everything.
did what we've all as kids said we wanted to do. I don't know about you, but I played around the railroad tracks and laying pennies and flattening them out, and we thought the slow one going by, wouldn't it be cool to grab onto it and see where it takes us? Our own Huckleberry Finn type situation.
I thought about it, but I don't know that I actually ever really considered hopping a train.
I don't think I've ever been on one. I want to do the thing in Nashville where they have I guess they got the mysterious dinner car that goes out of Lebanon and stuff. That's something that my wife and I have talked about. We just haven't been able to do it. But hey, let's take our first break, and then we'll come back and continue what we're talking about. You're listening to the Rick and Wayne Show on the Tuesday Morning Roundtable here on WGNS. We're going to take our first break, and we'll be right back with you in just a minute.
Hi, this is Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb and Associates. You might know me as the voice of the Blue Raiders, but I want to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, it's time to choose Chip. Do you have a growing family and need to upsize? Are you an empty nester now and need to downsize? Are you thinking of selling your current home but just worried you can't find something else? Well, it's time to choose Chip. I'm looking to be your trusted advisor in real estate. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb and Associates.
Hey guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule your health assessment at Low T Center, where they now offer the convenience of monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for only $155 a month cash pay or covered by most health insurance. If you don't live near a Low T Center or just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy to get started on treatment. Only your first 2 visits are in person. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. weather.
Ready for smooth sailing this Friday?
Wait, what?
August 4th is Friday Night Live on the Square from 6:30 to 9:30.
But who is smooth sailing?
Monsters of Yacht. It's a tribute to the yacht rock genre.
Yacht rock?
They are the look and sound of smooth music from the 70s to the early 80s. They deliver rocking recreations of songs from artists like Criss Cross, Doobie Brothers, Toto, Hall & Oates, Steely Dan, Bee Gees, and more.
All of my favorites.
This Friday on the Square, bring your dancing shoes and a chair.
It's Good Neighbor Events, brought to you by Cardinal Realty Solutions, the law offices of John Day, and AmeriCare Pest Control.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. I've lived and worked as a lawyer in Middle Tennessee for over 30 years, and to me, every single day has been an honor. That's why our firm is so involved with community programs like bicycle helmet giveaways and our Safe Ride Home program. At the Law Offices of John Day, we're not just looking to make donations. We want to make a difference in the community we hold so dear. And if you're ever injured, know that we are here for you too.
WGNS encourages you to shop local. That improves our local economy. And it's also important to listen local. The Tennessee sales tax free on groceries and food is going on now and continues through October 31st. No sales tax in Tennessee on food and food ingredients. That includes grocery stores, restaurants, food trucks, and other dining establishments. But the tax relief does not include alcohol, tobacco, candy, or dietary supplements. The Red Cross is critically low on blood. Call them and make an appointment for a time that fits your schedule. 1-800-RED-CROSS. And here in Murfreesboro, the Red Cross is at 501 Memorial Boulevard. Give blood at the Red Cross. Don't throw away old glory. Bring it by WGNS and let the girls from BSA Troop 2019 at Trinity United Methodist Church retire it with dignity. Plus, we also recycle Bibles. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Good Neighbor weather. We'll see sunny skies here this afternoon, a high in the low 90s. Northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear and a low near 62. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS. Currently, it's 72.
Broadcasting from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios, MTE serves members with more than just electricity. Their community outreach team works with schools, parents, and students to provide engaging and unique learning experiences. MTE serving to make life better since 1936.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And welcome to the second segment of the WGNS Roundtable with your host Rick and Wayne. And this morning we're doing a recap of all of our shows in the past, and just remembering some people, some favorites, some people we're fans of, and I've been looking forward to getting to do this at some point in time, Rick.
I have too, because I've, like you've done, I've gone back over our list when we go looking for a new guest every week, and it's astonishing. Here we are 66 episodes into this thing, and all the people we've rolled through this door and climbed up those stairs over here.
Even with
we've
my
carried
knees.
them down and back up, you know.
Gosh, 66. I'm you know, of course, this has been a blast, but I would not, I would have said, oh, well, 50 plus, but yeah, it's pretty neat. So we've, we've had a number of Rotary members on that wear sometimes dual hats or many hats between the Rotary Club and their profession or other community service or leadership posts.
And we've had so many new members of Rotary, and I know you're a past president. Could you briefly go over what Rotary does? Not only Murfreesboro has their own, but in Smyrna, obviously, we've got one. But what we do.
And they've, I've been in Rotary over 30 years now, and it was a little tighter back in the day. That for membership you had to be a business owner, a corporate leader, manager, director, something, and it's not as strict, but it's still it's members who are or have been in business and basically to serve the community. And to do that, you can do volunteering, but when it comes down to it, it's really dollars. If you really want to help a nonprofit, it's got to be with dollars, and with our fish fry, which is coming up September 10th.
Yes, sir.
We're hopeful to continue to help these nonprofits.
Yeah, because we usually, that's a couple of $100,000 event that we usually get on there. But you're right. I mean, it has evolved. You figure just in our club alone in Smyrna, we are, I wouldn't say we're the biggest club in the state, but we had the most service hours.
Yes,
this past year. Even you figure as big as cities as Memphis and Knoxville and Nashville, here we are with our little group, and we've been able to have a number of service hours that we've got that we had the most that are in the state. So not only it takes that money, but it takes the sweat equity that we're able to put into our community and what we have going on. Even in other countries, we have a group that does a Honduras trip now that had been for 3 years, and it seems like it's grown every year as far as what we've been able to do down there and this in our own community.
And I really think it's a term I've coined for years, way cool, to partnership with the Murfreesboro Noon Club and the Murfreesboro Breakfast Club. The three clubs for a number of years didn't have a lot of partnership, but here over the last several years, if not the last 10 or so, all three clubs have been working together with things like the Habitat Build and other activities, and it's just great to have that many Rotarians all working towards the same goal, and that's serving, our county community.
And we're a little competitive with it too. So
yes, we are.
They like coming and eating at our place on Thursdays. But
would like to give out Rick a good friend, both of us, Truman Jones. He did this weekly, this daily segment for 11 years, and I'm going, wow, 11 years.
Yeah.
And that when he finally decided to retire, that gave us an opportunity to do this with the service that he did for our county community, and the SRO program, which is a model that has gone nationwide.
They've taught nationally. You figure when we had Kerry Nelson on with SROs now, he was one of the very beginning ones, and he's kind of been able to travel all over and had in-house stuff to where he's showed other sheriff's departments how we do it here, and they've gone back and tried to copy what we've done because it's such a good program. It's pretty awesome.
Yes, sir. And we mentioned Mike Woods, and as we're talking about the town of Smyrna, and we've had John Black, the director of the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport Authority. We've just had some, I guess you could almost say movers and shakers, if you will.
I agree. Yep. I like how we've shed the light on so many things. I think we've been seeing, like you and I have not only our experience on the commission in the past about how things work, but we saw early on as far as what we were facing this past year with the tax increase, and it was probably going to be inevitable, but we didn't know what that amount was. And you figure then, from having the county mayor Joe Carr on to several of the commissioners that come on, especially in the Smyrna and North End Rutherford County area, that represent us down that way, that have been able to come on and explain as it's gone on how it's what's going on and what they're doing to try to keep from that happening. But inevitably, the way things are going right now, it was not anything that could help but to do, you know.
Well, and Commissioner Phil Wilson, Carl Boyd, Anthony Johnson, you know, they've been on a couple of times, and I think they've just been forthright.
Yeah.
They've shared their hearts. They've shared their concerns, and meeting the needs of the entire county community is not easy.
No.
And when your funds are based on property tax, that's wherein the difficulty lies.
That's exactly right. Yep. Somebody else I was going to bring up that I was going down through our list here, and I wanted to kind of bring up, and that he's a commissioner as well, is like Pettis Reed. I was astonished by Pettis Reed and all that, him being a writer and all the things he's done in his lifetime. And of course, he's got the farm that lives out there in Rockville and been in that community, I guess, since he was young. So that man was amazing to me. I didn't know a whole lot about him, and I know I'm into history, and of course he is too. And with the Rutherford County Historical Society, and we're getting a spinoff now in Smyrna, doing a Smyrna Historical Society going in the beginning stages of that right now. But I just thought he was a fascinating man.
And he's just a great community leader.
Yeah.
Just like I said, very knowledgeable, well spoken. Anybody that can write the way he did all those years, for the Farm Bureau, he just he's got he's got a large fan base out there, I guess.
He does.
Probably most of them are older.
He could have took our spot real quick. Luckily, he didn't live on the north end of the county.
Yeah. But he's just a great guy. I tell you, having former county commissioner, now commissioner for the state, and I'm
Brad Turner.
Yeah, as far as getting his full title, but having Commissioner Turner, he was a lot of fun.
Commissioner of the Department of Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities.
Okay, that was a mouthful, so thank you.
Yeah.
I just, I have so much respect for him, and just enjoyed that time we had with him as well.
I agree. And another person I wanted to bring up, and she could have her own show at Zany's for sure. That was
Dr. Puryear.
Dr. Puryear, Carol Puryear. She was, I guess, president of TCAT.
Yes.
Tennessee Community
Comprehensive
Applied Technology, I think, something like that. But what amazing! She's retired now, so I was glad to get her on and show a light of what she was.
I hope we can get her back. I think she'd be excellent, even if she doesn't have a title.
We don't have to talk much when she's here. She's pretty awesome. No. But I pushed TCAT, and it seems like to me, I just was having dinner the other night with some friends, and another couple had came, and their son is looking at getting into welding, and he's on the waiting list at the Murfreesboro TCAT. They'd went and done the tour, and he signed up. Well, he's on the waiting list, and he wants to be a welder. And I went in about how we had her on the show, and that was the number one thing, and the job placement, and how they warranty their students now, that if your student is messing up and it's not working, they'll take them back for free and do retraining with them, and they basically stand behind their students for you don't get a warranty at MTSU when you graduate from there, and TCAT's given a warranty with their students, and I just thought that was amazing.
Yep.
And having over 50 programs, I think it's a resource that we've got here that and they're through all out. I know there's one in Shelbyville and Hole in Wall. There's several, Columbia, but they're all over. But here we've got two of the biggest, I want to say, in Middle Tennessee, are right here in Rutherford County, with the one in Murfreesboro and the one across from Nissan at Smyrna that they have the partnership with.
Yes, sir. The other thing, with the town's history, we've had people like Harry Gill, former state championship coach. Teacher, administrator, director of schools. We've had Coon Victory, the mayor's father, and of course he he led the Smyrna community for so long. Toby Francis, I thought, talking about old Jefferson was pretty cool too, Rick.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. They, I just posted on my Facebook account. There's a Facebook page that's about old Jefferson, and I just saw they took about 60 photographs and colorized them. So they took old black and whites and added, I guess technology the way it is now. But you want to talk about pretty neat. I spent more than an hour going through those photos, and it's a shame we lost that part of history of it being the first original capital of Tennessee there for a short time. But here it's still, that land has never got flooded and it's there. But it's a shame we lost that. But it's still pretty cool.
We've Jenny Williams. She's, she's my age, so she's been around a while. She and her family, with Gillsville, the history of that spot, and of course it's blowing up now with the expansion or the widening of Jefferson Pike there all the way out to the 840. That's not going to do anything but continue to grow as well.
You're right. Yeah, and we haven't had them on yet, but I want. They had to cancel. We probably would have had them. What was it today? They were going to be on or when? But we've got Nissan coming on, and we're really excited. Both of us are really excited about that because the 40 years of Nissan being in Smyrna, and there's a YouTube channel of the town of Smyrna. If you go on the town of Smyrna on their YouTube channel, they have digitized and put out the original press conference they did in a tent over there. I guess it would have been the Ross that owned part of that land.
I think so.
Back then, but they got the tent up, and you can see the Ridleys speaking there, and the representatives from Japan with Nissan, which was Datsun converting to Nissan back then. But you want to talk about absolutely amazing, and which that was 1982, I think, or 83. They started that groundbreaking, and 84 they opened. But I think about that. That's our largest employer in the north end of the county, and then right on their heels, we've been able to have them on, and that was Taylor Farms, and wasn't that an amazing show about the automation and everything they got going on?
Yep. And Teresa, such a valuable member, Rotary member with our club. She's just, they live to serve. It just seems like.
Yeah, I sure do. Who else?
Well, I think having Fran Dunn with the Smyrna Senior Center, that's become a little bit more important to me now that I've raced past that 65. She's been an amazing addition to the Rotary Club, and how she takes care of our seniors. And our seniors have added to the economy all their lives, and now it's nice to take care of them a little bit at this stage of their.
Sure is, and she does an amazing job of it. Sure does. And the trips, that's $25, I think, or $35 for the year. And
I need to
you got to pay your way on the trips, but it's amazing what you can do.
Yep.
Hey, you're listening to the Rick and Wayne Show, the Tuesday morning roundtable. We're going to take our second break, and we'll be right back with you in just a minute.
This is Lisa Halliburton with Bell Jewelers. We have Bob Lanier. He's an award-winning goldsmith. He can custom make and repair anything. He's celebrating his 25th anniversary here at Bell Jewelers. We also have a second jeweler, Caleb. Having the two jewelers here, we can get things out same day or within a few days. Bell Jewelers, 821 Northwest Broad Street, across from Toots Restaurant.
This is Dr. David Morris with Magnolia Medical Center. Do you suffer from peripheral neuropathy in your hands or feet, burning pain, balance problems, and decreased quality of life? Magnolia Medical Center can help.
Magnolia Medical Center in Murfreesboro. Online at magnoliamedicalcenters.com.
Here at Bud's Tire, we make buying Michelin tires simpler. I'm Allison Mitchell with Bud's Tire Pros. We offer a straightforward approach to service, including nationwide warranties with every purchase. Stop in today to see our full lineup of Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. For whatever you drive, Michelin and BF Goodrich have a tire to fit any need. Bud's Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. We're located on East Main Street, exactly 3 miles from the town square, 1 mile past Rutherford Boulevard. Visit us online at budstirepros.tn.com.
Hi, this is Bob Cornell, pastor of Covenant Church right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The answer that you've been looking for is found in Jesus and what he accomplished at the cross. You see, Jesus changes lives from the inside out. We would love for you to join us at Covenant Church, located at 1124 Brinkley Ave right here in Murfreesboro. We have services Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. and Tuesdays at 7 p.m. You can learn more about us at our Cornell Ministries YouTube channel. We want you to grow in Christ at Covenant Church.
Get pharmacy services with a cherry on top from Reeves Sane, Murfreesboro's hometown pharmacy since 1980 at 1801 Memorial Boulevard and at reeves-sane.com.
Since 1940, your first choice for air conditioning and heating repairs has been Roscoe Brown. Now, when you have plumbing problems, it's also Roscoe Brown. You can depend on Roscoe Brown for any type of plumbing service and innovative plumbing solutions. Roscoe Brown is fully licensed, bonded, and insured, and fully qualified to assist with heating, air conditioning, and now plumbing. Call
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And welcome back to the third segment of the WGNS Roundtable with your host, Rick and Wayne. And this morning we have been doing a recap of some of our guests over the last, Rick counted 66 shows, which kind of surprised me. We've had so much fun doing this. Didn't realize that there'd been that many programs, if you will. So, Rick, the other thing that I've been extremely proud of is how we've had the opportunity to give our audience an exposure to the Rutherford County school system. We've had Dr. Sutherland, principal of Smyrna High School, and Dr. Hatchett, principal of Laverne High School, and I thought both of them they just promoted their programs and did an excellent job of.
And Jenny Smith was at Smyrna West.
Smyrna West, I enjoy promoting our educational program, and we're growing leaps and bounds, and we're crowded, but I'm just very very appreciative of the effort of our educational professionals taking care of our children out there.
I agree. And they're all coming back to work. It was my neighbors this morning, their cars were gone. So it's like they're back to the grind, started today.
Yeah. I think probably one of the more surprising shows that we had as far as sharing information was when we talked about the Atlas program and the homelessness here in Rutherford County.
Oh, yeah, Jessica Johnson. I think that's the show that it made me mad. We figured 1,200 homeless kids in Rutherford County and not going home with meals, and that there's not more effort put into that, I guess you could say. I know there was it spurred off from that. They had a kind of a fundraiser, a food drive that happened through Murfreesboro.com that helped with that to get some food, but I don't know. It seems like that the Title I and the money that we get federally on that, we could find more money to allot that to, but I don't know.
Well, the school system right now, if you're free and reduced, you get breakfast and you get lunch, but then dinner's a whole different deal.
Animal, yeah.
And weekends are a whole different deal, and if it just hurts your heart to think of children with food insecurity.
I agree, and I get it, and it's with the way moms and dads both work now, and not getting home till 5:30 in the evening, and then either you're stopping somewhere to get fast food, or it takes you an hour to prep and make a meal.
Right.
So it could be 7:30, 8 o'clock at night before I know I run into it. Just my wife and I, and that a lot of nights we're not eating till 8 o'clock because just the world we live in and the work environment and everything else. So it just makes me heart hurt just a little bit for those kids, and
Sure.
especially having my grandbaby right now. The last few days of making sure she gets something good before she goes to bed is you don't think about it, and then when we had Jessica on, then all of a sudden I started thinking about it a lot more, and it just sucks. I wished I guess every year we can work a little bit harder and maybe feel that need through this show or our Rotary partners and Lions Club and everything else that we've got going on. We might be able to help it.
Well, and I hope that we will continue to bring other professionals with the school system. I think we heard quite a bit about the Murfreesboro City system with Ms. Trail prior to our show. So, with Dr. Sullivan, who I think is amazing. With their partnership with Dr. Duke, with the Murfreesboro system. I'd like to think our children are in good hands with extremely strong leadership there.
Yeah, and I think with it, we're going back to school. You figure next Monday that we have been in summer and everybody going to work. You're going to have to kind of remember again they're going to be back in school, and it's time to slow back down, especially in those school zones. And I know the boys in blue and I guess Sheriff's Department wearing green, but they'll be back at it and probably running some radar. And
I hope so. Gosh, I wish we could slow down.
Yeah, especially on the interstate. Our interstates right now are.
Yeah. I mean, these vehicles that'll blow past us at 90 and 100 miles an hour, just they're just putting everybody at risk.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Somebody else I saw on here I wanted to bring up real fast because it seems like, and that was my father-in-law. I hate not saying it, but Colonel George Summerall, of being able to come on, retired colonel, and he is my father-in-law, and I look up to him in a lot of ways with his service of having almost 40 years in the military and then working for the government and getting a lot of things that we hear about now as far as surveillance systems and everything else, and here he was on the forefront of a lot of that went on. I thought that was really cool hearing that side of him. And, pretty good. I think you were out on that show, and I hope you were able to go back and listen to it again.
Yeah, I did. He was amazing. Of course, we hadn't had General Whitmore, but former classmate of mine, class of '72, General. We knew him as Jim Whitmore. He retired a few years ago as a 2-star Air Force general, and he was at the Pentagon on 9/11, and he's just like all the other higher ups, they're in rescue mode. He was the liaison for the Air Force to Rumsfeld, who was the Secretary of Defense, and from what Jim said, he just rolled up his sleeves and got in there, helping with the injured just like everybody else.
I don't think you had any other choice that day.
Probably not. Not. It's just that we mentioned, I think last week, the passing of Admiral Jimmy Taylor, and I'm sorry that we were not able to get him on the program. He just an amazing hero.
I agree. Sure was. I just read his bio or his obituary, and that's probably one of the longest ones I've seen. But just the things he was involved in and the lives he touched, and of course, with him at Top Gun, And then the Blue Angels being in Smyrna, I thought that was John Black told us in Rotary, and he did. We should have wished he had, when we had John on the show, wished he would have brought it up. But hear him talk about going to dinner, and that was his ace in the hole, is to bring Admiral Taylor, because he could bring up certain events and say certain things, and how these slouching soldiers just think they're just out eating dinner, all of a sudden sat up pretty erect in their seat, and yes sir and no sir, and excuse me sir, can you tell us how you served our country?
They went from relaxation to stiff necks.
Yeah. So I had met him years ago when I was on the police department, but I didn't have a personal relationship with him. But I sure missed out not knowing him better.
A couple other people that I'm grateful that we've had to have, and they're pros at this. Tim Tackett, former Oakland principal, served with him on the school board, former athletic director for the entire county. He has a 5 o'clock show. He and former Commissioner Jeff Jordan, also school board chairman Jeff Jordan, they're just, if there's anything you want to know about sports, between the two of them, they are just so very knowledgeable.
You're exactly right. And I mean, even we said it before the show, we were out there talking with Brian, but said we were going to bring Brian on today and interview him. But, he's the voice on a lot of these shows, him and Scott, but just the careers that he and Scott have had are amazing. Somebody needs to sit down and interview them because of what they've been able to do for our community and contribute, and the things they've been involved in. They'll be able to look back years from now and know that they touched a lot of lives and what they do with this radio station. And, I'm thankful for this radio station. We've got a tower now in Smyrna, and we're getting out a little bit brighter and branching out. And I'm just proud of us still having a radio station like this in Rutherford County, because there are a lot of places that don't anymore.
Sure. We've had, we've had very informative shows with Mayor Reed from the town of Smyrna, Mayor Carr for the county, Mayor Cole with the city of Laverne. I think they all three shared a wealth of information of what was going on, not only in their particular community, but also the county community.
I agree, 100%. Sure do. I was looking there. I thought we'd end up the show a little bit, and I wanted to look and see what they had as far as exhibit-wise. I was at, I guess it was last Tuesday, I drove by, and the Smyrna Outdoor Activity Center was absolutely full. There's like 4 school buses out in the front parking lot. The back parking lot was full. They were over in the skate center, and I think some were parking at TSC and walking over. I don't know.
That wasn't the snake exhibit, was it?
Man, I don't know what it was. It was National Snake Day, but
I'm going,
between the pool and it was hot and everything else. But man, you want to talk about packed over there.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm going to take we talked about it because having my granddaughter, I said, I'm going to run over there because she's hitting that age now that, some of that stuff that they're doing over there, which you rotate their exhibits, so it's not always the same thing, and you can get a year-long pass to keep going back as they change out their exhibits and all. But I hope people are taking advantage of that, and all the grandparents out there this summer that I know it's going to end now, not having the grandbabies or parents, but I hope they're utilizing that, and it's a huge thing.
Well, between Smyrna, that location, and the Discovery Center here in Murfreesboro, those are 2 great opportunities for our youth to get a clue on how things work.
It sure is. Yeah. I wish I like the Discovery Center. I just wish I had more adult things to do, because I want to get in there and do the fire truck and everything else.
I understand.
And you're pulling back,
Yeah. That kind of reminds me of, I'll go make this quick, but on Front Street, growing up, there was a store called Marable and Weekly, and they sold shoes and clothes and stuff. And I would go in there as a child, and they had the shoes on the wall, and they had these ladders that rolled up and down. You could climb up, 10 or 15 feet to grab a pair of shoes, and I wanted to get on that ladder and ride it so bad, but my mom would have beat me within an inch of my life if I had.
I get it. Yeah. Well, hey, buddy, thank you for 66 shows down.
Well, thank you, brother. I've had such a great time, and we've we've had so many interesting people, and I think we'll continue that trend. And this has just been quite the honor and pleasure for me to get to be with you.
Well, I did want to say from the station, we really appreciate you being on and bringing a focus to Smyrna. We really thought that having a tower in Smyrna is going to help us, reach the north end of the county. And, it's hard to do as much local programming as we do here with just the few people that we have. So it's been an honor to get to know the two of you much better. And here's to 66 more and 166 more.
Well, I can't wait till we say 1,200. I want to say like you did a week ago.
You'll be a lot tireder and bags under your eyes when that happens.
Methuselah, was the last one to live that long, So
yeah,
but
we're still going to get
Brian.
you on for that interview, though,
Appreciate
Brian.
it. All right, we'll do it.
Hey, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our show today and our recap and listening to us every week here from 9 to 10 on WGNS. We sure appreciate those of you who are listening, and we hope you have a good day.
Amen. God bless you.
Have a great day. Talk to you next week.
Premier 6 Theater on Broad in Jackson Heights.
Let's all go to the movies.
Check out what's showing at murfreesboromovies.com. Popcorn popped fresh daily.
Movies at the good old premises.
Premier 6 on Broad in Jackson Heights.
Portions of our programming have been pre-recorded. The Good Neighbor Network, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna.